What if I told you that success isn't something you chase? It's something you attract. The secret isn't luck, talent, or even intelligence. It's about who you become. Your mindset, your attitude, and your habits determine your success. Think about it. Why do some people seem to achieve everything effortlessly while others struggle despite working hard? The answer lies in their focus, their responsibility, and their ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles. If you're ready to unlock the mindset that draws success to you, stay with me, because what I'm about to share could change everything. Success, the power of personal growth. When you have a clear vision of what you want, the path forward becomes more defined. Now, don't misunderstand, this path won't always be smooth. In fact, it rarely is. But what matters most is that you're moving in the right direction. Success belongs to those who take consistent, disciplined action toward their goals, even when challenges arise. And believe me, challenges will come. But here's the secret. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. That's why becoming the kind of person who attracts success is so crucial. You must develop resilience, wisdom, and inner strength. The bigger your goals, the greater the obstacles. But these obstacles aren't meant to stop you. They're meant to shape you into someone stronger. Years ago, I was struggling. At 25, I had nothing, no money in the bank, nothing in my pocket, and little hope for the future. But then something happened that changed my life forever. I met a mentor, Mr. Schoaf, and he said something that hit me like a ton of bricks. Jim, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. That was a revelation. I had been waiting for my circumstances to improve, but Mr. Schoaf made me realize that my circumstances weren't the problem, I was. And because I was the problem, I was also the solution. If I wanted to attract success, I had to become the kind of person success would be drawn to. So I got to work. I started reading books, attending seminars, seeking mentors, doing everything I could to improve my mindset, skills, and habits. And slowly but surely everything began to shift. Why? Because I was changing. And that, my friends, is the key. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. When I changed, my opportunities changed. When I changed, the people around me changed. When I changed, everything changed, and it all started with me. Now let's talk about habits. Because if you want to attract success, you must build the right habits. Your daily actions shape your future. Success, aligning habits and mindset. You can have the best intentions in the world, but if your habits don't align with your goals, success will always feel out of reach. Think about it. If you want to be physically fit but have a habit of eating junk food and skipping workouts, will you achieve your goal? Of course not. The same principle applies to success. You can't expect to succeed if your daily habits don't support it. So what are your habits? Successful people cultivate success-driven habits. They read, they plan, they take action, they assess their progress. They wake up early, they stay focused. Most importantly, they remain consistent. And consistency is key. Success isn't about making an extraordinary effort once in a while. It's about showing up, doing the right things day after day. And let's be honest, that's not easy. It's simple to feel motivated for a day, maybe even a week. But can you stay committed for months, for years? That's where real success happens, in the power of consistency. But habits alone aren't enough. You also need the right mindset. Your mindset is the foundation on which everything else is built. If it's filled with doubt, fear, or limiting beliefs, success will always feel out of reach. You must believe in your ability to become the kind of person who attracts success. You must believe you're capable of achieving great things, because if you don't believe it, no one else will. Now, don't misunderstand. Belief alone isn't enough, but belief is where it all begins. You have to trust that your future can be better than your past. You've likely heard the saying, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And it's true. Your mindset shapes your reality. If you believe you're stuck, you'll stay stuck. But if you believe you can grow, you will. That's why transforming into a person who attracts success starts with reshaping your mindset. So how do you do that? You feed your mind with the right influences. Your mind absorbs everything around it, so be mindful of what you let in. If you surround yourself with negativity, fear, and pessimism, those thoughts will shape your reality. But if you choose to be around positive influences, if you read books that inspire you, your mindset will shift, and so will your results. Success, the power of your environment. When you spend time with people who challenge you to improve, your mindset will shift. It has to. You'll start thinking differently, and once your thoughts change, your actions will follow. And when your actions change, so do your results. Relationships play a major role in this transformation. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on who you become. If you spend your time with individuals who are negative, lack ambition, and settle for mediocrity, success will be difficult to attract. You must be intentional about your environment. Surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you, those who push you to grow and are on a similar journey of self-improvement. There's an old saying, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And it's true. You inevitably become like the people you spend the most time with. If you want to attract success, take a look at your circle. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Now, this doesn't mean cutting people out of your life completely, but it does mean being selective about who influences you. Choose to be around those who hold themselves to high standards, who are striving for something greater, and who believe in your potential. Because when you elevate yourself, you attract better opportunities, better people, and ultimately better results. When I started working on myself, I noticed something interesting. The people around me began to change, not because they were evolving, but because I was. Some old friends lost interest in what I was doing. They didn't want to read the books I was reading, discuss personal development, or engage in conversations about success and big ideas. And that's when I realized something. Not everyone will come with you on your journey to success. Some people will choose to stay where they are, and that's okay. But if you truly want to move forward, you must be willing to let go of relationships that hold you back. Every relationship acts as a force. It either lifts you up or pulls you down. There is no neutral ground. So ask yourself, are the people in my life pushing me toward my goals, or are they pulling me away? Be honest. If you're serious about becoming the kind of person who attracts success, your relationships must align with your ambitions. And I won't sugarcoat it. This isn't always easy. Sometimes it's painful, but success requires sacrifice. Success, the power of influence and value. You can't hold on to everything and expect to move forward. When I started spending time with my mentor, Mr. Schoaf, he introduced me to a completely different group of people. Individuals who are already achieving success, and let me tell you, that changed everything. I observed how these people thought, how they acted, and how they carried themselves. They were disciplined, focused, generous, and optimistic, and they didn't operate from a mindset of scarcity. They believed in abundance, and that kind of thinking, it's contagious. I began to think differently, dream bigger, and take more purposeful action. Why? Because I surrounded myself with people who were already living the kind of life I aspired to. So ask yourself, who are you learning from? Who are you modeling your life after? If you want to attract success, you need to learn from those who have already achieved it. Success leaves clues, my friends. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Find people who have reached the level you aspire to and study them. Learn from their habits, their mindset, and their routines. Success is not random, it follows patterns. That's what I did with Mr. Schoaf. I listened to his guidance, followed his example, and it completely transformed my life. Become a person of value. If you want to attract success, you must become a person of value. Success doesn't seek out those who are simply occupying space. It gravitates toward those who contribute, solve problems, and make a difference. And here's the key. The more value you add, the more success you will attract. But what does it mean to add value? It means being a problem solver. It means helping others, making an impact, and giving more than you take. Successful people don't dwell on problems, they bring solutions. Where others see obstacles, they see opportunities. So ask yourself, how can I add more value? How can you solve bigger problems? How can you contribute more to your job, your business, or your community? When you become a person of value, success naturally follows. People will seek you out. Opportunities will present themselves. Why? because the world rewards those who contribute more than they take. And remember this, the size of your success is directly tied to the size of the problems you solve. Solve small problems and you'll achieve small success. But solve big problems, that's when real success begins. The key to success, integrity, discipline, and self-respect. If you solve big problems, you'll attract big success. But there's something even more important to remember. Becoming a person of value isn't just about solving external problems. It's also about developing your inner self, your character, integrity, and ethics. People who achieve lasting success live by a set of values. They don't cut corners, they don't cheat, and they don't deceive. They operate with integrity. Why? Because trust is the foundation of all success. If people can't trust you, you won't get very far. You may achieve temporary wins, but they won't last. True, long-term success is built on trust. So, be someone others can rely on. Mr. Schoaf once told me something that stuck with me. Jim, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. That means if you cut corners in one area of your life, it will eventually spill into other areas. If you're dishonest in one aspect, that dishonesty will seep into everything you do. You can't separate your character from your success. So if you want to become a person who attracts success, start by focusing on the small things. Are you keeping your promises? Are you following through on your commitments? Are you giving your best effort even when no one is watching? Because it's in those small daily decisions that your character is shaped, and your character either attracts or repels success. Your goals are worth the effort, and when you respect yourself, others will respect you too. That's another key to attracting success. People are drawn to those who respect themselves, who set high standards for their own behavior. So if you want to attract success, raise your standards. Expect more from yourself. Don't settle for mediocrity. The power of discipline now. Let's talk about one of the most critical qualities for attracting success. Discipline. Without discipline, you won't get very far. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your achievements. It's what keeps you moving forward when the excitement fades. It's what helps you stay focused even when distractions come your way. And believe me, there will always be distractions. There will always be obstacles trying to pull you off course. But discipline is what keeps you on track. Discipline is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Most people give up when things get tough, but those who attract success, they keep going. They have the discipline to do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like it. Because success isn't about feelings. It's about principle. It's about showing up, putting in the work, and staying consistent day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. Now, I'll be honest, discipline doesn't come naturally to most people. It certainly didn't for me. But here's the good news. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. You can build discipline over time, just like you build physical strength in the gym. It starts with small choices. Waking up 30 minutes earlier, sticking to a workout routine even when you don't feel like it, or finishing that project at work despite being tired. Each time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your discipline muscle, and over time it gets easier. Discipline is self-respect. When you discipline yourself to do what needs to be done, you're sending yourself a powerful message. I am worth the effort. You're proving to yourself that your goals, your dreams, and your success matter. And when you start respecting yourself at that level, the world will begin to respect you too. That's when success starts finding you. The role of patience in success. Another powerful principle in becoming the kind of person who attracts success is patience. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, not an event. Most people get frustrated because they want instant results, but the truth is, success takes time. It's like planting a seed. You don't plant it today and expect a tree tomorrow. You water it, you nurture it, you give it time to grow. The same is true for success. You must be patient. Patience doesn't mean sitting around and doing nothing. It means continuing to work, continuing to improve, continuing to take action, even when you don't see immediate results. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goal. Too many people give up too soon because they lack the patience to see the fruits of their labor. But success belongs to those who stay the course, who keep going, who refuse to quit. In today's world of instant gratification, instant messages, instant access to information, it's easy to get discouraged when results don't come fast. But real success, the kind that lasts, is never instant. It's gradual. It's built brick by brick, day by day. And the only way to see it manifest is to trust the process. There's an old saying, haste makes waste. When you rush the process, you miss the lesson. You miss the growth. And ultimately, you miss the success. But here's the thing. Patience doesn't mean passivity. It doesn't mean waiting for things to happen. It means understanding that while you work, results will come in due time. It's about trusting that your efforts will compound. That's the power of compounding. Small, consistent actions over time create massive results. Just like planting a seed, if you water it today and tomorrow and the day after that, eventually it grows into a strong tree. The same principle applies to your success. Every effort, every disciplined action, every small improvement, it all adds up. That's why patience, combined with consistency, is a recipe for success. The power of persistence now. While we're on the subject of patience, let's talk about persistence. Because if patience is the willingness to wait, persistence is the determination to keep going, no matter what. You cannot attract success without persistence. Life will test you. There will be setbacks, there will be failures, there will be moments when you wonder if it's all worth it. But here's what I've learned. Persistence always pays off. Always. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to one thing: persistence. Successful people aren't always the smartest. They aren't always the most talented, but they are persistent. They refuse to give up. They refuse to be discouraged. They keep going no matter how hard it gets. Now ask yourself, are you willing to fail on your way to success? Are you willing to keep going even when things don't go as planned? Because if you're not willing to persist, you won't attract success. You have to be resilient. You have to have grit. You have to be willing to pick yourself up every time you fall down. Success doesn't go to the person who never fails. It goes to the person who refuses to stay down. So when life knocks you down, and it will, get back up, dust yourself off, keep moving forward. That's how you attract success. But here's something important about persistence. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. Persistence without strategy is like running on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're not getting anywhere. You have to be persistent with purpose. You need a plan, you need a roadmap, you need to know where you're going, and then adjust your course as needed. Because sometimes when something isn't working, it's not because you're not trying hard enough, it's because you need to change your approach. Persistence doesn't mean doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. It means staying committed to your goal while being flexible in your approach. The power of adaptability. That's another quality of people who attract success. They are adaptable. They are willing to change their strategy when the situation demands it. They don't get stuck in one way of thinking. They are open to new ideas. They are willing to try new approaches. And that's important because the world is constantly changing. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow, so you have to be willing to evolve, grow, learn new skills, embrace new opportunities. The more adaptable you are, the more you will attract success. When I first started in business, I had an idea of how things should go. I thought if I worked hard enough, everything would fall into place. But things didn't always go according to plan. There were times when my strategy didn't work. There were times when my business wasn't growing the way I wanted. And I had two choices. I could stubbornly keep doing the same thing, or I could adapt. And thank goodness I chose to adapt. I started learning new ways to market, I started learning new ways to connect with people, and that changed everything. And you know what? That made all the difference. Success didn't come the way I originally imagined. It came because I was willing to change, to adjust, to adapt. So ask yourself, are you flexible enough to adapt? When life throws you a curveball, are you willing to change your approach? Because here's the truth. Life rarely goes exactly according to plan. There will always be unexpected challenges and unforeseen circumstances. But the people who attract success are those who are prepared to adjust. They don't let obstacles stop them. They find a way around them. They don't cling to old strategies. They embrace new ones. They stay focused on the goal, but they're flexible in their approach. The power of a positive attitude, maintaining a positive attitude, is essential for attracting success, as it allows individuals to see opportunities rather than problems and remain resilient in the face of adversity. A positive mindset acts as a magnet for success, drawing in favorable people, opportunities, and results, while negativity repels them. However, positivity does not mean ignoring reality. Rather, it involves focusing on solutions, learning from challenges, and maintaining hope even in difficult times. True, lasting success is built on strong character, which is developed through perseverance and a constructive mindset. The key to cultivating positivity lies in controlling one's focus, shifting attention from what is lacking to what is possible. Gratitude plays a crucial role in this process, as recognizing and appreciating what one already has fosters an abundance mindset and attracts more success. A simple habit of listing 3 things to be grateful for daily can gradually rewire the mind to embrace positivity. Additionally, personal responsibility is fundamental to success. Taking full ownership of one's circumstances without making excuses or blaming others empowers individuals to shape their own future. Ultimately, success is determined not by external conditions, but by one's response to challenges, making positivity, gratitude, and accountability the foundation of long-term achievement. I stopped waiting for circumstances to improve and took control of my own success. Too many people go through life blaming their circumstances, upbringing, economy, or others for their failures, but this only gives away their power. Taking responsibility means reclaiming that power, acknowledging that while the past cannot be changed, the future can be shaped through personal decisions and actions. Successful people don't wait for circumstances to change. They change themselves. They take ownership of their choices, attitudes, and actions instead of waiting for the perfect opportunity. Life doesn't respond to wishful thinking, but to action, determination, and accountability. This isn't about self-blame, but about learning from failures and moving forward with improved strategies. Instead of looking for someone to blame, ask what lessons can be learned and how to do better next time. Every setback is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. In my early business ventures, I faced struggles and was tempted to blame external factors, but once I embraced responsibility for my results, good or bad, everything changed. Taking ownership of my actions empowered me to stop waiting for better circumstances and start creating them. Ultimately, success isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about creating it. The choices you make today will shape your future. Take responsibility, stay positive, and focus on adding value to the world. Surround yourself with the right people, develop a mindset of growth, and keep pushing forward, because when you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, success will follow naturally. You won't have to chase it. It will find you. So take action, believe in yourself, and start attracting the success you deserve. Your journey begins now.